We are currently reading through the Bible as a church.
Yeah.
We are in Job.
Yep.
Actually, today we're wrapping up Job.
Yeah. Yeah. 42 chapters.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's all right.
Don't hit your microphone. So Job is this strange book of God has protected Job.
Yeah.
And he prospered very well under God's protection. But then God removes that protection, tells Satan, go ahead, go destroy the guy's life. What is the point of the book of Job?
Wow.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, that is a conversation that has been going on for a long, long time, is what in the world is the book of Job all about?
So I'm not the only one.
No. And Job's a difficult book to understand. I think one of the themes of Job, is that we just simply don't have answers for all our questions. And I'm talking about as readers,
Okay.
not that the Bible is impossible to understand, but I think an intentional theme of the book of Job is that some questions our human minds cannot comprehend. There's not answers that are overly that just give us just a ton of closure on something. So I think that's one of the themes of Job.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why include it in the Bible?
Yeah. Well, because I think another one of the themes of Job, at least that you can see as you read through it, is that God is over all things. That he's sovereign. That he can be trusted. And that's another theme that we see. Just to be real brief on that.
You say God is sovereign and can be trusted.
Yeah.
He protected Job until he didn't. How is that
Yeah.
sovereign? How is that
Man.
caring for Job?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. Again, a conversation and a question that has been had many, many times over. And maybe for the time that we have here, I would just fall back on there's some things that are difficult to grasp, some things that are hard to understand. What we do see also in Job is a God who is continually merciful, continually sustaining. That's the same picture we get of God throughout the Old and the New Testament. That He is a God who is full of compassion. When he introduces Himself, to put it kind of tackily, in Exodus, he tells who He is. I'm a God compassionate, slow to anger, abounding in steadfast love. He also says, by no means will I overlook sin. So He's holy as well. So those are some themes that we see begin to be developed in the story of Job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about Job's friends. So we see these three guys. It's actually four. There's a surprise fourth guy who appears towards
Who
the
is
end.
all that? Eliphaz.
Elizahu.
There's Elihu. Is there Eliphaz?
I don't remember all their names. Those are biblical names that are hard to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so you've got these guys that come in and basically tell Job
yeah.
he's wrong, he's terrible, and
Yeah.
he needs to fix it.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Well, there's among all the conversation that's happened around Job, there seems to be pretty broad consensus that these guys are lousy counselors. So Job and his lousy friends. So,
Okay.
You can read the story of Job. Maybe you're not even a Christian. Maybe you're not a Christian and you have definitely read Job, because for you it's kind of like, ammo against the Christian faith. But also, if you haven't read it, you can read it and you can see how these friends kind of come in and assume and assert themselves into Job's situation, and seems like without much wisdom give Job a lot of bad counsel. And then later we see Job and God somewhat conversing, which is another interesting point. What kind of God converses with His creation? And so, as many people would like to call the Christian faith this fairy tale thing, and you just kind of got this angry God. Well, we've got to grapple with the idea that the God that we worship is one who has stated Himself that He interacts with His people, that He loves His people. His people are not just objects. but who continually interacts with his people. So we see that in Job, God interacting with Job.
When we see God interact with Job, it looks like he's kind of yelling at Job.
Yeah.
When it was, I mean, Job had that protection, then he didn't have that protection, and then God has a right to yell at Job? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, it's easy to read this and to think he's yelling at Job, and maybe I sound like, man, you were just brainwashed, but I'm truly not, because I've read the story of Job before, and I thought the same thing. Yeah, this man, what is God? He's lighting into Job. I think what Job says, or what God says to Job, if you are able to read it in the right frame of mind, you're able to see, no, these things that God is saying, that he stretched out, the skies, and he knows these things about all these things that no one knows about. It really, for the Christian, is a source of great comfort. It's really a source of great confidence that, hey, the God that we serve, even though there are things that he allows that don't make sense and they're very difficult and very hard, he is a God who intimately, deeply cares for us. That's a very short synopsis of what I think is going on with Job and God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
We're going to end this one here. Hey, if you want to follow along with us in the Bible reading this year, you can follow the YouTube channel, Set Sail with Grace Harbor. There are commentaries every day, as well as the passages we're reading every day. And if you have comments or questions, go ahead, put those down below. We'd love to address those in a future episode.